your stream.
Oh, it just sets everything up.
Oh.
All right. I think we just went live. That was quick. Didn't mess around this time. What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Give some shout outs in chat. We got sub apes out there. Jerry Lawrence, Gareth Martin. Tammy's in the chat. Joey likes to suck on apples or something there she's talking about. We got Corvate. Jen the Juice Fairy in the chat. Socrates, a cab driver. Al Ben in the house. Let's see. I think I had Corvate, Jerry Lawrence. I think I said everybody. I know Mark Sr., he was first one in. Kathy Wood, R. Willoughby James. He has some interesting things to say about Cornell's Food Science and Toxicology Department. Found that the antioxidant properties of one fresh apple, were equal to 1,500 milligrams of vitamin C. Ooh. I guess that's better than the tomatoes with the nicotine in it. Vaping trucker out there. What's going on, Michael? Cincinnati King. Up, Chris. All right, so Jennifer got to go to NVE Richmond yesterday, and so did I. And I figured knock this out of the way. Got some toys to show. Og Vape hooked me up. I got a hat. Got this little thing here, this little wallet, and you open this up. What's that, George? Oh, okay. What's up, Becky? And they have two of these in there with their cotton. Don't look like bad cotton. I'm going to throw in an RDA, see if it's worth a shit.
Nice.
Cotton threads was there, throwing your samples everywhere. Especially over the Very Vocal Vapors group, her booth, Christine's booth. And I'm going to say something real quick. Very Vocal Vapors, I'm trying to figure out how she's going to promote it. But she's partnered up with Broadside, and they have a limited edition Admiral and a Culvert as a kit, or you can buy the Admiral separate. And it has Very Vocal Vapors on it. They're individually serialized, really, really sharp. There, they were $175 or $150 for the mod and $200 for the kit.
Nice.
And any profits off of that is kicking right back to advocacy.
Nice.
Awesome.
Other toys I got Fagan's new mod, or new RDA, to BTFC, and I'm liking this thing, especially as a squonker. As a dripper, it was pissing all over the place. As a squonker, it's good, but then I did put bigger coils in. I used it yesterday trying to just throw some round wire in there, a single coil, and it was coming right out the bottom. And I got the Basium.
Which squonker is that? I mean, no. Which
RDA? That's the BTFC.
I don't know what that is.
That's the new one that they came out with. It's made it's made by Og Vape.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Oh, I got that. Got this yesterday, the DNA 250, 1800 milliamp.
That's nice.
Lipo. Yeah, that was happy birthday to me. Not going to tell you what I paid for it, but it was too much. Dead Rabbit RTA.
I want that.
Yeah. I let Billy sign it. I fanboyed on him. Well, everybody saw this on my Instagram. I was being a little gay with Brian yesterday.
Yeah, you were.
He didn't mind. Got the Hive RTA. There, haven't taken out the package yet.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a 28 millimeter. I like the bigger ones. It's going to go well with that DNA device.
Mm-hmm.
It was great seeing a lot of people yesterday. Saw Mike Vape, saw Brian, saw Heathen, saw Tony B. Tom Howard was there. What's his name? Dear Addy was there, which he was awesome. I was hanging out with him for a good while yesterday. Johnny Drips was there, another real nice guy.
Oh yeah, I met him in Atlanta back in May. He's
from Baltimore. He's so it wasn't that far for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's real cool. I'm gonna hook up with him later on. I'm gonna get some coils off him and a couple RDAs. A ton of juicy there yesterday as usual. A good bit of hardware too. I was surprised. A lot of times it's just a juice fest, but a lot of CBD too.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
A lot of CBD. That's a big thing. Dave Gurlis was there. I got to talk to him for a good bit. I didn't realize that he went to one of my neighboring high schools in Jersey growing up.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. He went to Pennsauken, and me and Beth went to Triton.
So if people want to kind of see what Frank is talking about, he did a little live, which is on the channel too. He did a little live from MBE, which was fun. It was kind of fun to see.
We'll walk around.
You also did a show and tell of the top side.
Yes.
Yeah, want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that thing is, it's funny because if you look at it and you just hold it like this and you don't really see, and all you see is like the top of it, it looks like the Fuchai squonk.
The Fuchai, yeah.
Yeah, because it looks like where the squonk part is where the battery goes in on the Fuchai.
Yeah.
And also kind of looks a little bit like the double barrel, the way it's designed. Just the overall shape of it.
Yes, that's my first thought. The body, the frame of it looks like the double barrel.
Yeah, it may have been, Brian may have had that inspiration, but with that top side is you're going to have, basically it looks like where your battery would go in is spring loaded, and you turn it and it pops open, and that's where your 10 milliliter juice bottle is. That's your juice bottle. You fill that up, it seals back up and almost pressurizes it.
Yep.
And then when you squonk, there's a tube that's going across and then up into your RDA.
Oh, that's exactly what I wanted to know.
I need that bad.
Brian told me they ran it with 100% VG and it did not clog and it worked the way it's supposed to work. So it's not going to matter how thick your juice is going to be to use it.
That's my biggest problem is refilling even with these refillable little squonker things. Yeah. I still make a mess. I mean, I still can't get it to work right. I mean,
I have a couple of them, and I don't commit myself to that much juice to actually fill one of them 30 ml bottles. But this stuff here, I like this. I got this from Bad Modder Fogger. There's going to be some videos coming up for their line. This is their Redemption Reserve. This is an RY4, I don't want to say exactly what it is because I got to actually go look on the site, but it's definitely RY4. They have a couple of them that are like caramel, and they tried my butterscotch and that one, and they have one called Freggie, and they said it seemed like it was a combination of the two. And I never tried either one of them before. I said, yeah, it was just coincidence.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, but they liked a lot of my juices. And there was one, I didn't bring it upstairs because I'm not dripping it right now. I hate candy vapes, but this one was really good. It's called Rainbow Tears. It's basically like a Skittles. The first pull off of it, it's kind of floral, but not like a soapy floral. You just get like a little bit of a floral note. But then after that, it's sweet like a Skittles, but it's not sickening sweet. And the coils, I was killing it yesterday, and the coils weren't affected.
Nice.
It's a very clean vape. I was really surprised.
Yeah, with Brian's squonker, my first thought was, I wonder if he's going to have the same issues. Remember, Lost Vape came out with the Lost Vape Drone RDA.
Oh yeah, that thing was.
They had issues. It was a great RDA, but they had issues with the feeding into the 510 with the tube because it was offset.
Yeah.
And you see, like most squonks, the feeding for the tube is directly underneath, right? So I was like, I'm very curious to see how this is going to feed, because you have to have.
Well, I think that's why they tested it with such a thick, as thick as you can get, pure VG, and it worked. Now, over time, who knows how well that's going to hold up, but.
But you know what? I applaud him.
Any battery you can use. I'm not quite sure. I'd actually have to go back and watch my own video if you mentioned it. If it's coming with a 21700 or if it's just capable of a 21700.
I think it's just capable. Yeah.
Because he was even mentioning about milliamp hours, so it may even be coming with one. But the final retail packaging isn't done yet. I mean, they had a bunch of samples there, but that's it. Oh, Addie Tooney in the house. What's up, brother?
Hey, Addie.
Yeah, it was great to see Dear Addie yesterday.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
He's going to get back into the game here shortly. He's just bought a house. He's getting everything squared away with that. Still living out.
Good for him.
But yeah, he's because I asked him, I said, you going to get back into YouTube or what? He goes, oh yeah, I'm going to. It's just he's been swamped right now, which makes sense.
Yeah. All right, man. So you made out like a bloody bandit. You really did. Yeah, but that's all right.
I'm like, I can do that every once in a while.
Yeah, but you got some good deals.
Yeah.
You got that Basium?
Yeah.
That was a really good deal.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
I paid for it, but I didn't pay retail. We'll leave it there.
We'll leave it at that. We'll say no more, if you know what I mean.
Here's how the cell changes. Twist cap or the slide door. Well, basically what you're doing with that bottle is everything's coming right through the top. You turn it and it depressurizes and you pop the cap off and then you can fill it right there. And I believe there might be something on the bottom where you can pull the bottle out, kind of like
it was like a cartridge system.
Yeah, it's basically it's a cartridge.
And you get 2.
Yeah, you're going to get 2 of them.
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited. I love the innovative idea. I just love everything about it. I really do. Because it's sort of like the form, like not exactly the form factor, but the size and the 21700 and the recurve is beautiful. And that has the ingenuity now with the top filling. Just beautiful. I'm excited.
They had those there yesterday.
Well done,
but after buying this one, I didn't want to, and I want to get the top side. So I'm like, all right, Mom, I'm going to leave Mike's alone for now.
Yeah, completely.
Plus, they weren't giving any deals on it anyway. They were selling it for retail.
Yeah.
Now with Tofo, they were doing something yesterday, but I missed out on it. I heard about it after they were already done. If you watch like their promotional video, they were giving away recurves and all kinds,
Whoa.
And all kinds of different things. I was just like, what?
Yeah. So what's the deck like on that big cloud chasing 28 millimeter thing like?
It's Apocalypse.
It's the Apocalypse. Oh, is it made by Apocalypse?
No, but it's that deck.
It's that deck.
Yeah, just like the Sherman has that deck. It's the same. It's inspired by that.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's
what Joe say. Her silicone models don't seem to hold on to the scent of my juice. Yeah, I mean, some do, some don't. Like I found that the better quality silicone bottles that they're putting out there aren't really holding the flavors.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's why I only put stuff that I really like in my Swanker, because I may have to live with that. And that's what's great about the basket too. It comes with 2 bottles.
Yep. Cool. All right. Cool. What about you, Tammy? You got anything new this week?
I got a couple of flavors, but that's it. No hardware. I'm hardwared out.
Yeah, I'm bummed out. The guy from Flavor Art was there, but I didn't get to see him. And the guy from Capella was there giving out Silverline things, because I ran into Zesty, and Zesty's like, oh yeah, he described what the guy looked like and what he was wearing, but I never saw him.
Because
we were leaving the event. We were outside, and I saw someone that was described. Zesty described like outside waiting for a cab or something. I'm like, well, I'm not going to bother this guy now if that's him.
Oh,
the guy's going to be like, who the hell's this guy?
I'm telling you, man, I don't have any flavors. Back up.
Do you not have the Silverline stuff, Frank?
I have a couple of them, but I don't have a lot of them.
Oh my God.
Like I have like Cereal 27 Bears, Apple Snacks, but this is all like the new ones that they just released.
Oh yeah, I already got those. When I heard about them, I ordered them like as soon as I came out, because I'm like that flavor geek.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Zesty yesterday. We were talking for a little bit, and then he went to go grab something to eat, and then I never saw him again. I was like, did not come back, because he lives there in Richmond, so he was hanging out all weekend. So he may he may have just taken off and then was coming back today.
Was yesterday their business to business, or was it their open day?
But they did B2B in the morning, I heard.
Yeah, it's usually in the morning. Yeah.
But it was not packed there at all yesterday. It was not busy.
No, which made me a little concerned, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
that's right.
They had the big advocacy panel, and there might have been 20 people standing around.
One.
There were some issues.
I got the whole gallon down.
There were some issues. I guess the Legion was there, and they kind of were escorted out because they were trying to start trouble with some of the vendors.
Ooh.
Yes, we're on.
And then, like during the advocacy panel, there was a couple people, I don't know who they were, but they were being asked to leave, and they were running their mouths about it.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but I mean, it didn't cause a disruption, which was good. Dave Gross, he said his piece. So
I saw him on your video. That was cool.
Yeah, a lot of advocacy that he did. The advocacy panel was a lot of lawyers and stuff like that. So.
Cool.
Who's taller, Dear Addy or Zesty? I'm gonna say Dear Addy might have him by an inch. Yeah, Alan, I was hanging out with Christine a good bit. If you go back and watch my video yesterday, I caught her over to Cloud Chasers Inc. booth, and I got to interview her over there, talking about her new mod. that she's working with a broadside.
Cool. All right. So you want to get started on some flavors for these good people that have come to hear about apples?
Yeah, came to hear about apples. They don't want to hear about all the toys I bought.
Yeah.
I mean, apples is something that I've always enjoyed using. Like I've always wanted to, and like I should say, that's but when I started playing with them, before I usually just used them to brighten up strawberries or stuff like that. I hadn't really used them to mix as the as a main flavor in a recipe. But now between Stark Apple from Flavor Art and Fuji from Flavor Art and Double Apple from Capella and apple filling from Flavora, I mean, there's some really great concentrates out there to play with that you can put anything together, it seems like.
Yep, exactly. So I think when you look at apples, right? So like there's a lot, and it's kind of hard to figure out like what apple is going to do what for you. So let's start a little bit with Fuji, right?
Yeah.
So I think probably everybody's most popular is like FA Fuji because it's been around for a while, and then Cap Fuji came out and Jungle Flavors has a Fuji. So you've got 3 companies with a Fuji apple, and they're similar, but there are differences.
Right.
I think like, I think that Fuji apple is like truly you get a fresh, bright, crisp top note, and you get maybe a little bit of the peel, where like I find like with Cap Juicy, it's a little bit sweeter, a little more watered down.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit easier to work with in some respects.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I think it's wetter. It's like, I think it would work better in like a beverage, where you want kind of that, you want some of that. I think
that's what Wayne did when he remixed the Red's apple recipe. He used the Capella Fuji in that.
He did. Yeah, he did.
And it makes sense.
And so from a flavor standpoint, you're going to probably use almost like 2 to 3% a Cap. And you'll probably use like
even 3. Yeah, 3 to 4 even.
Yeah. And you're probably going to use like FA around 1%. But interestingly, looking at some recipes, in getting ready for the show, because I like to look at how people use things. A lot of people used FA Fuji as their main apple note, upwards of like 2 to 3%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. You guys have any thoughts on the Fujis?
Well, Jungle Flavors is a good one if you want to do it as a bakery, in a bakery.
Jungle Flavors Fuji apple.
Fuji apple, yes, Fuji apple. Because it's a dry apple. It's very dry. So it's good for that bakery note but you would only use it like at 1% in a bakery if you want that feel. But if you want, but other than that, the Flavor Art is a little bit better because you do get a little bit more juicier and you do get that peel. Like that top peel.
Yep. So I used Fuji in my mix. But oh boy, I'm having a hard time with my words today.
Oh my gosh, I am rubbing off on everybody. This is so not good. This is so not good.
I love the combination of Fuji and Cap Double Apple. Like I just think that
because you get that combination.
Yep, because you get the body, the meat, the texture. I find you get a little more of that from the Double Apple. And the thing I like about Double Apple is that it's sort of in the middle. So you can kind of use things to push it to be a little more tart. And you can use things like liquid amber to move it to be a little more baked, more of a filling. So it's kind of like a nice Swiss Army knife of apples. Have you guys used Double Apple?
Yes. I basically bought it because of Wayne Walker.
Yeah. Yep. Me too.
When he did that Red's apple, I wanted to recreate that.
Yeah.
And I like it because of the Inaware Double Apple, because of, you get that, it's like the green and the red, you get like a nice combination of them all. And they haven't, Inaware hasn't messed with it yet. This as far as I can tell.
You mean? Oh yeah. So Inawera has their 2 apples.
Oh no, yeah, 2 apples. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
right. No,
I'm totally going the wrong way. Yeah.
Inawera has 2 apples, where the Granny Smith is at the more up front.
Yeah.
And then they have where the red is more in the back note.
Yep.
With the peel, a little bit of peel.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's totally. Yeah. Cap's double apple I like because it's it's more of a, it's not a candied apple. It is like a, it is wetter, and you can use it in anything that you want to add an apple note to. Yeah. I would probably use that more as an accent note than the main flavor, though.
Double apple?
Yeah, I think so. If you're trying, just to maybe help boost up your other apples, maybe mix it with Fuji or mix it with 2 apples.
Yeah, you can kind of up and, like, I like it with Fuji, and you can kind of play up and down depending on whether you want more brightness and top note, or you want a little more sweetness and more of a golden delicious kind of apple, as opposed to a bright, crisp, in your face Fuji kind of apple.
And there's one that Mophead likes that doesn't get talked about enough, and that's just regular Flavor Art apple.
Yeah.
Which is dark apple, which is a very dry, rough texture.
Yep.
And it's very, it's like a Macintosh. What's going on, John?
Yeah, I agree. I think if you're looking to use something for a cereal, where you don't want a lot of the wetness, you don't want a lot of that juiciness, you want flavor, but you don't want to add more moisture to your mix. Like if you're using AP and you're using, Cereal 27 or FA breakfast cereal, and we'll look at how because apples kind of get used across the spectrum, right? So you kind of use it in beverages, you can use it in like fruit cocktail mixes, you use it in bakeries, and you can use it in a cereal. So apples kind of go the gamut, when you think about it, which is kind of, and different flavor apples have kind of different applications. Yeah. But yeah, that's a good point, Frank, with the FA apple. Actually, that's a really good point.
Yeah, it's like the sleeper apple. Not a lot of people know about it.
Yep.
Here, I'm going to pull up, since we were talking about cereal, I'm going to pull up Moose's recipe that he wants us to share today, since he had something going on today. And Mophead's getting, he's in the desert like during the hangover. He's had a bachelor party. Or he may come back with a face tattoo.
Oh, no. Man, tell Moose he needs to share his own darn recipes. We're not here.
We got to carry his ass sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
But I like what he just basically, like Apple Jacks.
Yep, it's a good recipe.
And I like what he did with this, because he didn't just go right for like one-on-one Apple Jack cereal and call it a day. He created it. Because one-on-one's Apple Jack cereal is garbage anyway, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's horrible. It's awful.
Now, I haven't used this Flavor Art apple pie. I guess that's similar to like Flavora's apple filling, but maybe with more of a crust.
No, Flavor Art apple pie is more of, holy shit, my mind just went blank too. Flavor Art apple pie is like a pie crust. You don't get a lot of apple from it. It's more like a crusty note.
Oh, okay.
Well, but I've used it actually really high. Like most people use it low to accent a crust and maybe get some of the other notes. But I've used it upwards of 3 to 4%, and you can get apple. You get feeling with it.
Oh, he's using it 2.5%.
Yeah, 2.5. I think he's probably trying to get the texture, the more than the actual apple.
Right. So he's not using the apple pot, like he's using it for that.
For the texture.
Yes.
Yep.
And using apple snacks at 6%, why not? It's a good candy bakery apple, I guess you can call it. It's not it's kind of artificial, but it works. And then of course the Cereal 27 and the Flavor Art cookie to get more texture, milky undertone. Yeah, why not? Throw smooth it out a little bit with the meringue, and then a little bit sweeter.
He's doing the milk, yeah.
Yeah, he likes to sweeten a little bit, but you could probably take that sweeten around. I think this would probably still be a good mix.
Cap's Apple Snacks is really a great way to get that Apple Jack sort of component going. Yeah. Absolutely, 100%. And the meringue and the creamy milky undertones is a great combination for the cereal milk. Like if you want that combination is perfect. It's like perfection. Although Flavora cream will get you sort of there, but I like the creamy milky undertones better.
Yeah, I think for this particular combination, yeah, I would use that over the flavor cream. All right, we'll stop sharing that one.
Cool. I don't know if that was really apple, but I guess it sort of is.
Yeah, I mean, it works. Oh, Vape Ross Vape's in the house. Vape Ross Vape, Vape Ross Vape. Cesare's in the house. What's up, Alan Gorby? See, I don't think I said hi to Karen Presley or Ian Thomas. What's going on, gang?
No, you did not.
Uh-oh, I apologize. Damn, I'll sneak in. I didn't notice. I don't think so. I think we're good.
So, let's see. So we kind of talked about, let's take a look at a couple of recipes here. So, did you guys did anybody use Fuji or Double Apple?
I use both.
No, I'm a big bakery person. So you go if you.
Pop yours up, Frank, and then I'll pop mine up because those are the ones that I used.
All right. Yeah, because this one, let me go ahead and share this. I didn't come up with any creative name for this one, but it's just basically an apple donut. Almost like I wanted to go for like an apple cider. I didn't really quite get there as far as like, like a fall type apple cider donut, but this turned out pretty good. Use the flavor apple filling. I was basically, because a lot of these flavors are relatively new to me to play with, so I was going a lot with like recommended percentages and stuff like that, and just working it in. Like Fuji apple, I'm afraid to go high with that for some reason. I put it in a mix one time, and I thought I was getting a floral note, and I thought it was coming from that, but I found that it wasn't. It was actually from the boysenberries I was throwing in.
Yeah, you can get a floral note though, Frank, definitely from Fuji apple if you go high.
Yeah.
Where cap, you don't get the floral note. So
yeah, it's not as concentrated, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd have to use a lot more to get what you want, and probably. I don't know if the 2 apples is giving you anything too different than the double apple. You could probably pick one of them and just manage a percent, and you'd probably be good with that. But that looks good, man.
Yeah, I mean, it turned out great. I mean, I mixed it up almost a month ago, basically 4 weeks ago, and right off the shake, it was really good. Then it seemed like it was like a roller coaster, and it kind of like it lost some sweetness. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I need to throw a little sweetener in there. But now, a couple weeks later, I revisited yesterday, and it kind of like, I guess all the apples kind of came together, and I'm getting a little a nice natural sweetness off of it. So you don't really have to add any sweetener. Just let it sit 3 or 4 weeks, and you'll be good.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, and of course there's a polo, because it's a donut, and I wanted to throw a pastry dough in there just to add a little bit more of a fried donut flavor. I'm not sure if I could have maybe subbed one, not eliminated one of them. Maybe just went 4% Zappola, or just went to 2% or 3% pastry dough and took out the Zappola.
That's what I was going to say. Or even if you wanted to, you could try Wonder Flavors donut. Maybe.
Yeah, I used that one time when we were doing the cronuts, and it seemed like something in there was mute and the other one out, so I kind of didn't want to play with it here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. It's pretty straightforward. You can't get too crazy with it, but I
still think Zappola is the real MVP when it comes to the donuts. I mean, the glazed donut's good, and the pastry dough is good, but I still think Zappola still hands down is the best one if you're trying to create a donut.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they have they've come out with a lot of these fried dough, pastry dough, sweet dough. You're like, all right, well, let me try it. Let me try it. You're like, well, Zappola is still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking maybe instead of using the deep fried pastry dough, if I wanted to use just Flavor's fried dough, that might even give it more of a fried note as well. I'm not sure though. I have it, but I haven't even cracked it open.
Yeah, Flavor's sweet. Is it fried? Do they have a fried dough or is it sweet?
They have both.
Yeah, it's the fried one that I got from Bryson.
Yeah, give it a try.
Yeah,
that's the only way you're gonna figure out, right? Like where the things kind of sit.
Exactly.
And see what happens to them. Absolutely. All right.
Take that down.
So I'm having so many issues with my computer today. It's really pissing me off. Like I can't open anything. I don't know what's going on.
If you want, I can pop up your recipe.
Yeah, could you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't, for whatever reason, I can't open my browser, and it's really, I don't know what's going on.
Cancel that for a second. Pull it up to the forefront. Yeah, apple slices with peanut butter. Okay. Right here. Here we go. All right. All right, there you go. There.
Thanks.
Guide me down through it. And
yeah. So I just did a, I wanted to keep it kind of simple, but I love apples and peanut butter, so I wanted to give it a try. So I kind of took a page out of Fresh's playbook on the peanut butter, using the 2 peanut butters. Flavora peanut butter is a much more gritty, authentic peanut.
Yes, absolutely it is.
And then TPA is a little bit more of the creamy, skippy kind of, creamy.
Yeah, one's crunchy, one's creamy, but the Flavora one definitely is more,
it's
just
dry.
Eating peanuts with a little bit of a.
Yep, definitely. So, and I wanted to add, like, how you dip it into like those little peanut butter cups with the little caramel in it.
Yes.
So Babe Train caramel is a darker caramel. It's not a lighter, creamier caramel. It's a much more darker caramel, and definitely has salt in it. Like when you just do single flavor testing with it, you can get that salt. Unfortunately, that salt doesn't really come through in a mix so much. I was kind of hoping it would have. Like I wanted some more of that salt note coming forward, but it's in there. It works well. The combination of Fuji and double. So I went low on the Fuji and high on the double because I wanted some more of the middle of the road kind of apple flavor. I didn't want it to be too bright, too wet, so I added a little bit of the Fuji on the back to add some brightness to it. The coconut is just to add to help with the dryness of the Flavora peanut butter.
Because the Flavora sweet coconut, that's a very wet flavor.
Yep. Anyway. People that are very sensitive to coconut might taste it, but I don't taste it in here very much at all. And then the OOO vanilla was just for some volume.
Yeah, and add a little sweetness to it.
Yep, and add a little sweetness. And the combination of the OOO vanilla, marshmallow, peanut butter, and sweet coconut is kind of something that Fresh has been playing around with when he's been working on some peanut butter. So I kind of thought I'd take a twist at it as well. So yeah, it's tasty. The apple needs about 3 to 5 days. Some people find that Fuji apple can be pretty harsh, so it needs about a 3-day cooling down period, and kind of settle down, and then the peanut butter kind of picks up a little bit, and some of the sweeter back notes come forward. So it needs about a 3-day. I mean, you can definitely vape it off the shake and vape, but you get much more apple and a little bit of peanut butter. And then after about 3 to 5 days, it kind of blends in really well and comes out really nice.
Here's a little out of the box. If you wanted to make this even creamier, either adding or just subbing out the sweet coconut and using a little bit of Flavora avocado, maybe like a 0.25%, because that's all mouthfeel. Because you don't really get the avocado. You're not getting any guacamole flavor out of it. You're getting, the creaminess and a little bit more depth. I mean, this is an awesome recipe. I mean,
that's interesting.
I had just about everything to make it except for the sweet coconut.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna take the peanut butters and just do a little test with the avocado. And
see how they play together.
See what it does, because that's really what I'm using it for. I'm using it for a little bit of the mixing of the peanut butters and the dryness of that Flavora peanut butter, man.
Yes.
I love the flavor, but it is so dry.
Yeah.
So dry. All right, cool. Thanks.
Hey, no problem. Yeah, and in the description of the video, all these are there. So anybody that wants to catch it on the replay or what have you, you can pick it up there.
I have a recipe of mop heads, but why can't I?
I could try to find it. Which one?
Here, I got it.
Oh, Let me see. Okay.
Yeah, if Tammy wants to go, if I can get mine to be pulled up.
Okay.
If you want to talk about what you got.
We can go with me, but I'm like going in a different direction.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay. Everybody, which one are you pulling up, Frank?
Let's see. I got the cran apple or the walnut peach. Which one? Or walnut apple? Which one you want?
Either one uses the same apple.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah, this one here is. Let me go ahead and pull it up here. Share screen.
Surprise me.
Here's the one that you was inspired by Emily.
Yeah, so cool. This one's Emily Nikon. Nikon.
Yeah, look, this week everyone can see a title cran apple muffin.
Yeah, she goes by Nikon. Everybody knows her on Mixin Vixens. She released a recipe not quite a year ago. Cran orange muffin. And at the time I didn't have flavor cranberry. I'm like, this looks so interesting. And I just love the idea how she made her muffin. And I was, so I'm like, I'm going to make this into something I can make. So I made her muffin base, which was limbus bread, pound cake, and Soho. And I made it with the apple, cranberry, and apple filling. And so I made it into a cran apple muffin. And it actually turned out really good. But then I did turn around and make her cran.
Now, I'm not familiar with the limbus bread. What do you get from that? Is it like a drier bread, or because I haven't messed with the limbus bread from Flavora. What do you get off it?
It's a dense, thicker bread.
Like a cakey type bread?
Yeah,
is that why it plays well with the pound cake?
Yeah, it's really like a cakey bread. That's why it makes a good muffin.
Oh, okay, it makes sense.
Because it's a dense type flavor. So take that with a pound cake. And the Soho is more for the caramel note, not really tobacco, the caramel put in it.
Because the Soho, you get kind of like an RY4.
Right, exactly.
I think with the apples, that would work out well here anyway, because you get the brown sugar and the the caramelized brown sugar basically out of the Soho to go with the apple.
Right.
Yeah, it's really good.
And I am like in love with apple filling from Flavora. It's that apple is just a perfect bake, like not bake. The apple, I mean, it's apple filling. Like you open up a can of apples for apple pie, and it's apple filling, but it has that cinnamon flavor. It's just that cinnamon flavor. It's just amazing to me. So you have that cinnamon apple taste, almost like if you want to bite into a McDonald's apple pie, if you will, that apple filling in that is almost what it reminds me of.
Yeah, like the old school apple pie, not the somewhat healthy crap they try to do now. The old deep
the old school,
in the lard. That was the best apple pie ever.
Yeah, and that cinnamon in it is just amazing. It's 100%. One of my favorite cinnamons. And then, but the apple cranberry from the Flavora, it's probably not the best. Their Flavora's cranberry is better than the cranberry and the apple cranberry. So really, if you wanted to make it a better recipe, you could probably add, and I'm downing my own recipe, but that's what I do because I'm my own worst enemy.
Oh, so I'm my toughest criminal, and my toughest.
But it's really, really tasty. You get the apple and the cinnamon, and you get that little bit of caramel note, and it's just a nice bakery, a very nice apple cranberry bakery. So I really enjoyed it, but I never released it. So I'm like, what a better time than now we're talking about apples, and we're giving tribute to Emily Nikon from Mixin Vixens. She's
exactly, awesome. And they're on tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern. So in like 3 hours and 17 minutes, you'll be able to get Jen the Juice Fairy, Jen Jarvis, Jen Wednesday, Jen Jarvis, Emily Nikon, Rin, Leilani might be on. I guess they got the guys this week too, because that's why I was trying to get you to come in to replace Moose because I can, and he was busy, and because he's getting ready for he had work to do too, but he also is getting ready for the Vixens tonight.
Cool.
Go ahead and I'll stop sharing that one.
So I'm going to pop up, please work, screen share.
Awesome.
So I wanted to pop this up because I think 1, 2, 3 flavors are kind of like, you know, using 3 flavors for a mix is kind of, while you think it's simple, it's really difficult. We did this last night on DIY Down Under. And I just wanted to pop this one up. This is Mr. ID10Ts. And it's another example very similar to, I think, what you've kind of been doing, Tammy. He used 1% Flavora apple filling. And this is where I think Country Apple really shines because it's a cooked apple without any cinnamon or brown sugar or anything.
Exactly.
So in scenarios where you want to beef up the apple filling, you want the meatiness of an apple, you're making an apple pie, you want to add some of that apple flavor to a cupcake or an apple banana bread, I think this would be ideal. And then he just added 2% VT Golden. And I bet you this is probably really good.
Yeah, it looks it.
Absolutely. That looks delicious.
Right?
I've been looking for a reason to use that golden syrup.
That looks delicious.
So that's one. And then the other thing I wanted to highlight was, hang on, let me do this. Let me go this way. Was this Mop Heads? Yeah. So this is Mop Head's take on the cereal. And I liked his take on it. And that's why I wanted to bring it forward. So he uses, as opposed to using like an Apple Jacks or an Apple Snacks or kind of an apple-based cereal, this is more of a wheat cereal with actual apples on it. And so he used Fuji apple as the single apple at 2.5%.
Wow.
But yeah, exactly. And he uses cream fresh along with the meringue for the milk cereal. But here's the thing that's interesting, and I wanted to point out. Apple and pears go very well together. Apple and watermelon go very well
I'm glad you mentioned pear. Yes.
Right. So when you're looking about how can I get more of a meatiness, kind of
some juiciness too.
Yep. Right. So Innerwear pear is going to do that. Yep. So he used pear at 2.5%, which is higher than what other people might use it. Some people use it as the accent. In this, he's using it as the primary pear.
And primary apple.
Yeah, sorry, the primary apple. And he's using Innerwear pear as the base. So I think it makes for a really nice combination. So that's another kind of take home note to think about. Some people will use a little bit of cactus, right? So if you want to take some of that top edge note, you can, but you still want some of the juiciness, cactus will help you with that. And the third thing you can do, if you've got a couple apples you want to bring together, a little bit of dragon fruit will help do that for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Right?
TFA dragon fruit.
And there was one more recipe, if you guys don't mind. I want to.
Go for it. Right? Let's hear everyone's talking about chefs in the chat. They got that sale this weekend. I guess it's a bank holiday on Monday for them.
Oh, and Num Nums too.
Oh crap! I can't. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. I rebooted twice, and I'm still having issues.
Something's coming. There we go.
It's not my
That's
day.
one. Yeah, that's Mop Head.
I just showed. Hang on.
Yeah.
Mamma mia.
You got cinnamon roll apple. You got apple cereal up there.
Yeah, let me stop screen sharing and let me pull it up, and then I'll pull it up. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, in the meantime, I'll give some love to Tammy's other recipe.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's right. Another recipe.
Oh yeah, I have my
walnut apple
recipe.
Yeah, that looked good too. That's a 1, 2, 3 recipe that I really liked as well.
It wasn't a 1, 2, 3%, but it was a 3 flavor recipe.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Let me pull that up.
But yeah.
Let me get this to scroll down. There we go.
Okay, I'm not in the right screen. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm late.
It's okay.
Here we go. Okay. So this is, I was supposed to be on Mixing with Me Mates last night, but I had a busy day yesterday. Anyway, I won't get into that. I wasn't feeling well last night. I couldn't do it. So, but I had prepared kind of a little bit ahead of time a 3 flavor recipe to see how it would go. And I mixed it and it actually did really well. It mixed really well. And it's a walnut, peach apple dessert, if you want to call it. So what it is I wanted to use the peach pie and cream from Wonder Flavor Super Concentrate, and I used it up to 6%. And I got that percentage from Shindo because he did that one recipe with the tobacco. He had a tobacco with it, and I can't remember what it was called, this recipe. But he said use it at 6%, and you could go all the way to 10, depending on how much you wanted of the peach. And so I went with 6. And then I did the apple filling at 2%. And then, of course, the walnut from Babe Train at 1.5%. Oh my, that is the best walnut I have used so far. There could be some others out there that are great, but this one's really good. You get that nice walnut accent on the exhale with this. And it's just a nice, like, together peach and apple, because you get that cinnamon in it and that walnut, and it's creamy because of the peach pie and cream. And so it's just a nice dessert vape. So that's really all about that, but it's just 3 flavors, but it's really simple, but it's really complex at the same time when you make it.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it.
Yep.
Exactly, because I wouldn't have thought of using, I guess I didn't catch when Shindo did it, but yeah, I wouldn't have thought of using that peach pie and cream that high, but it
yeah,
awesome.
That's what gave me the idea, was when that recipe I mixed of his with the tobacco. He used the flavored tobacco with it.
Oh, okay. Well, like red burley or?
I think so. I have to look it up to see for sure. But I was like, I remember he pushed it really high. And in his notes, he said you can go up to 10%, depending on your taste. And I was like, wow, okay, I'm gonna go with this and see how it goes. So, and it did really well.
I just saw in the chat, Joey had to replace a hot water heater too. Yeah, that was last Monday. That was
something. It's life. It just happens. Let me tell you. There's always something.
Come on, get that hat like Battery Mooch does, man.
Because they're flat brim.
Yeah. Yeah, snapbacks. Anyway, so this is Wayne's recipe, and the reason why I chose it was a couple of things that came out that I thought were worth noting. One, he used Cap Fuji at 5%. He used pear and dragon fruit and watermelon, and then for the kind of that back mealy note, he used the 2 apples. So all those components he kind of put into here, and it makes for a really sweet, juicy, I mixed this up. It's just yummy. It's really just a yummy kind of vape.
Nice.
And so if you're looking for kind of a very cool, refreshing kind of mix, the dragon fruit helps kind of push that sweetness and helps meld everything together like we talked about before. So this is just an example of kind of the ratios that you could kind of use that at to kind of create that sort of mix. And then the other one I wanted to do was this one. One thing we didn't really talk about, which I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about real quick, because some people want to do like green apples, right? They want more of the Granny Smith, the tart green, the sour apple kind of thing. And so here's just a good example of a kind of, this is red and green, but I think Flavor West green apple is a pretty nice green apple. I like it a little better than TPA Granny Smith. A little better. But this is just a nice example of kind of a simple, authentic sort of combination of green and red. And so you've got the green on the one end, you've got the two apples on the other, and you kind of have the apple stark, which is kind of more of a deep red delicious, with the 2 apples in the middle. So I just thought it was kind of a nice example of how to do that, of the range that you can get. Liquid Barn has a green apple, which I would not necessarily recommend unless you're going for a candy. If you're going for a candy, then that's probably pretty good. I think most of the sour green apples, or the green apples in general, tend to move a little bit towards the candy side. So I think of that lot, Flavor West is pretty good and TPA is pretty good. I think you have to build it with some other red to kind of move it away from the candy-ish and move it back over a little bit, but you can definitely do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised because when I think of Flavor West, I think of a lot more artificial flavors.
Yeah, candy.
And for that to be a winner like that, make it something authentic.
I wouldn't call it a winner. I for an authentic green apple, but I would say you can move it with another apple to move a little bit more towards center because it does. Or you could probably move it to the candy side depending on what you're pairing it with. You know what I mean? But it's definitely usable. Let's just say that.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't think there's any other apples that I have that I can really talk about unless you guys have any experience with other apples you want to chat.
I'm looking to see. I'm going to go into my stash and see if there's any other apples I'm missing here that I'm just not thinking about right now.
The only other one that I was going to talk about was that we really haven't, that I know is a very popular one that sells out at Bull City really quick, is Mixin apple mix. Have you tried that?
Oh, no. Is it good?
Yeah, it's a really good, like, people love it because it tastes like an apple cider, a really good apple cider mix.
Oh, so it's on the cider side of things.
Yeah, it's like a cider side of things. So I was just going to mention that. And if you don't have Flavor apple filling that I love, and you need a sub, one that you could use is Capella apple pie. That is not, because it's not really, you don't get any pie notes from it. You just get like a apple filling with some cinnamon Danish swirl, basically. That kind of cinnamon from it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and I like the cinnamon Danish cinnamon. I like the cinnamon from that.
Yeah, it's not my fit. Well, everybody has their like cinnamon.
Their cinnamon that they like. Yep.
Yeah. So I just those are just some things that I had took notes. Was like thought it was very interesting. But also, if you want a good pumpkin pie, you might want to go ahead on Bull City and order Hangson pie now.
Oh yeah,
pumpkin pie, because it'll be sold out like probably soon.
In about a month.
Yeah, this time of year, everyone's gonna be getting that.
I think another talking about apple cider made me remember I've used Inawera 2 apples for to get more of that darker, deeper sort of cider, that you can get. There's no cinnamon obviously with it, but I think it works pretty well as a cider, to make a cider.
Sub Vapes just, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt.
Mullenberry, yeah.
Sub Vapes just mentioned a good one. I totally forgot about Mullenberry Eden apple, and it's an excellent apple. If you haven't,
what apple?
Mullenberry Eden apple.
Oh, Eden apple, huh?
Yes, it is an excellent apple. If you haven't tried that one.
Is it like red? Is it like, what is it? Like a baked apple?
You can use it for a baked apple. Gosh, I don't have my notes in front of me to tell you, and I should have been more prepared for that. So
no, that's right. Sub Vape said recommended it. So Sub Vape, what is that like? Is it like a red apple? Is it like a bright, crisp apple? Is it more like baked? What is it like? Mullenberry is hard to get though.
They have it at Gremlins now.
Do they?
And Gremlins has it, and so does DIY Vapor Supply.
Where's Gremlins coming out of?
North.
Okay.
Washington.
No,
I'm saying that wrong. I can't remember.
Is it west? It's on the West Coast. Well, look at it. Let's look it up. Let's see.
Yeah, look it up because I can't remember. But I know Gremlins has it. I know it's north. Hold on, let me look at this. Is my chat slow or maybe?
Let's see, where are they? Gremlins, where you at? Where you at, Gremlins? Contact us. Let's see if that tells
Here we go. Gremlin. Let's see. Is it Gremlin Juice? There's Gremlin Juice here.
Gremlins DIY.
Okay, here it is. Yeah.
I've got them, but
they carry sticks mix too.
Yeah, they have sticks. They just started carrying a lot of different flavors. They also have them at Oh my gosh, where we were just talking about in Europe.
Chefs or
No, not chefs. Oh my gosh, my mind just went blank again. And they num nums. They have 50%
oh,
off
okay, yeah. Here's
until the
another one we
31st.
didn't talk about because it's relatively new. Capella now has a version 2 of their apple pie.
Huh?
Oh,
What
version
did
2.
It's DAP free.
Oh well, it could be
So
good. I
so
don't
it'll
know.
price. I mean, it might be good. You just have to wait forever to find out.
Okay, let me see here.
Yeah, Wonder Flavors apple cider. It's no.
Oh no, you were right. They are in Washington.
Oh, okay.
See, I knew it. See, okay, I should go with my gut when I say things.
Yeah, they're in Washington. Yeah, that's probably why I tend not to use them. Interesting.
Yeah, I tend to stay.
But I've used them a
that.
couple of times, not often. But they do have that now, and so does DIY Vapor Supply.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think I want to do
Eating
a
apple.
cider now. I want to work on a cider now. I want to do like a boozy cider.
Well, it's going to be that time of year, yeah.
Yeah, man. Do that boozy cider stuff. That'd be yummy.
I'm trying to think what you would use to try to pull what would be a good booze note to pair up with the.
You could do brandy. Brandy's very
soft
fruity.
apple.
Yeah.
It's pretty, but you could go bourbon if you want to go more of the
Yeah, it'd be darker, yeah.
bourbon route. You could, yeah. I'd probably either go bourbon or bourbon and brand. I'd probably go bourbon. Nah, I don't know.
You know what would be good? Vape Train's light rum, or maybe even their darker rum, their regular rum.
Their dark rum, I don't care for.
No, I haven't tried. I don't think I've tried it yet.
Their light rum's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty solid.
That and mix that with some apple. I think you might be able to pull something together there.
Yeah, that could be yummy.
Oh, Joey has butter rum. Yeah, I mean, doesn't somebody have like a butter rum ice cream or something?
Flavor West does, and
yeah,
Lorraine,
Flavor West, yeah.
Lorraine's and Flavor West are probably the most popular butter rums to do. But yeah, man, a cider would be good. You're gonna start seeing all those ciders coming out, and
oh yeah,
all the pumpkin, all the apple pies, and all the pumpkins.
Yeah, especially up north. Down here, you don't see it as much.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
Hard. I mean, tomorrow's first day of school, and it's supposed to be 90-something degrees.
Oh, yeah. I know, right?
And you have a football game tomorrow night. Well, tomorrow afternoon, the JV does. So like, yeah, they're gonna be dying. It's gonna suck for them.
Hydrate.
Oh yeah, because my daughter's got cheer in it. So
yeah, eating apple is like an apple crushed into fresh juice, kind of.
Oh, okay.
So
that makes sense.
So then it's more like an apple juice kind of apple.
Well, a juicy apple. I'm just going by some notes, and that's kind of high, 6 or 7%. I thought it was single flavor tested, so I wouldn't say that's if you use it at a normal 4%, that it might be just a juicy apple.
Yeah, sounds like it might be good in maybe in an apple cider too, like an apple juice.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Sounds it would be.
Maybe.
I've read other notes on it. I mean, I have other notes than this. This is not.
All right. Well, we're coming up on a little after 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
What do you think, Frank?
Wow.
I guess, let's go ahead and start heading out of here in 3 hours. Don't forget Mixin Vixens tonight. I guess Koppel and them aren't doing their 3 o'clock show anymore, huh? Or they're just taking some time off. I didn't get a notification on them and didn't see anything promoted on them. So I don't know what they got going on.
Yeah, I didn't see a notification.
Maybe a break?
Yeah, maybe they had to take a break. Next weekend we really didn't talk about it yet, but I'm thinking lemons next weekend. When life gives you lemons, make the shit out of it.
All right.
Lemons. Are you here next weekend? I know which weekend are you not?
Oh no, I'm good now until.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
October.
Good. All right. I'm just. Oh,
unless work screws me.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay.
Because I know my work's gonna be pissed at me. I took yesterday off. Next Saturday, I'm getting done early because we're going to a concert over in Raleigh.
Oh no!
Who are you going to see?
Kid Rock and Brantley Gilbert.
Oh my God, Kid Rock.
We've seen him so many times. I'm like over him, but the wife loves him. So.
But he does put on a good concert.
He used to. He used to when he cared.
Now he just wants to stop.
He's gotten corporate now. He's mailed it in.
Yeah.
Years ago, we came to town and we saw him. It was him, Foreigner, and ZZ Top. Yeah,
that's an awesome concert.
ZZ Top and Foreigner were awesome, and he was just like, okay. Yeah, old man rock. Yeah, that's right. That's what we are. That's like yesterday at the Vape Expo. Oh, Ian. Yeah, yesterday at the Vape Expo, they had Guar.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. They didn't perform or anything. They were just out there in the costumes and jock straps, and
they
didn't play any music.
They're like an alternative rock kind of group, Guar?
They're an old metal band from like the early '90s.
Really?
Grim Green was saying he wanted to go just because of that, because he was a huge Guar fanboy.
Yeah. Like
Hailstorm and Shinedown. Hailstorm's awesome. Shinedown's pretty good.
Old man.
Wish Daytime Frank a happy birthday this coming Thursday.
Yeah.
No, Wednesday.
Another year
Thursday.
Thursday. Yep. Another year older and deeper in debt.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. That's why he went and had a buying spree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you, Frank.
Yeah. Beth was just looking at me like, really? When it all came up on the register, she's like, really? You sure? Oh, there we go. Mixed Life is going live right now. My bad. Yeah, Guar's. They have their e-liquid line with Mount Baker vapors. That's cool. Why they were there. All right, Tammy, tell everybody where they can find you.
I'm on ELR and all the flavors, Tam Vapes. And I am on Eat, Sleep, Mix, Repeat a good bit, and on DIY Down Under.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I forgot to put it in the description. I didn't pimp out ESMR or DIY Down Under, but big love to Pippa. I still have to watch the replay of last night's show. I'm sure it was excellent.
Yeah, I do too. I was so tired. Oh my gosh. If I go early in the day, long story anyway. Go ahead.
Well, Tammy, thank you once again for coming in. Let's say you're now regular. I got to get Mophead to get you on the thumbnail.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Oh, so sweet. I had a haircut yesterday.
Oh, there we go.
I had a new girl cut my hair, and she was a vapor too. And it was so awesome. Part of one of her tips, I gave her a tip with money, but I also gave her a fresh bottle of juice because she vaped. Awesome. And she absolutely was in love. She was like, this is like some of the premium. I'm like, no, this is premium.
Ain't no some about it, sweetheart.
Yeah, that's the thing. When us DIYers, we make premium stuff. We make stuff that you can't buy.
Exactly. I'm like, the shops do not make this. And anyway, I'm like, this
because we use flavors that they can't afford to use in mass quantities.
Artisan custom crafted juice.
That's it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
so it's easy. She was way younger than me, and she thought I was cool, and I was like, I'm like, anyway, so
that's funny.
Okay, Mary Beth, you go.
Yeah, where can we find you? You can find me on ELR in all the flavors as MechModRN. I'm a moderator on DIY Down Under. And don't forget, if you haven't done this yet, guys, this is blank, but please remember, all right, send them to Jennifer Bergen Coleman
on Instagram.
Yeah, JBC on Instagram. Look her up. You can send it to her that way, or you can email it to her. She did a little Instagram shout out this morning to the people that have been sending them to her. And and so it sounds like Sacramento has managed to keep clear of the flavor ban so far, but awesome. Like
in Illinois vote to go to 21 was vetoed.
Yep. So we have a couple couple of W's in the W column, in the win column, and that's what we need. So keep it up, guys. I've never seen so much advocacy on Instagram as I've seen in the last 6 months, and that's awesome, guys. Truly, thank you. And I just want to thank you all for listening to us this afternoon. Appreciate your time. I know there's a lot of places you could be and how you could be spending your time. So hopefully you got a couple things out of this, and it was, you enjoyed it. But thank you for spending your time with us today. That's
Mary
it for
Beth
me?
could not be spoken better. Thank you once again. You're the real MVP. I don't give a shit what she does.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, keep an eye on your advocacy. It's fortunately advocacy is getting cool, I guess you could say, because people are finally talking about it. And if you're going into a shop, first thing you do, if it's a new shop that you've never been into, walk in there and ask them about advocacy. And if they don't seem interested in it, turn around, walk the fuck out, because that is their lifeline. That is their business.
Yep.
And if they're not doing advocacy, then they're just shooting themselves in the foot, and let them go down in flames, because we need to save this. This is a life-saving device that has helped millions of people around the world, and we need to continue on with this, because there's just people dying every day from smoking-related illnesses.
Exactly.
And if we can get them to smoke 10 less cigarettes a day, and then eventually they're not smoking any cigarettes a day, we've won.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what the FDA wants to do. Doesn't matter what all these states want to do. They want to tax the shit out of it. If we can get these people to stop smoking like we all did, just like Jen Berger Coleman right now with the signs with the flavor. I did mine yesterday at Christine's booth there in Richmond. And we just got to keep fighting this good fight, because we're starting to see some positive things out of it. For the longest time, it was doom and gloom. Nobody cared about advocacy. It was a few people doing it. There wasn't enough money getting thrown into it. Well, now we're starting to see the difference. Yeah, and if you want to help donate and get yourself something cool, get with Very Vocal Vapors. They teamed up with Broadside for a special edition Admiral with the Culvert. It was a Culvern, I believe it is, cap. And that's all right, Jen. We'll catch up one of these times. Charlotte's in a couple of weeks. I may be going there, so 3 weeks to Charlotte. So maybe we'll catch up then. Oh, that's all I got for today. I say, all right. Like, subscribe. We're catching a replay. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody coming out. There's a lot better things you can be doing on a Sunday. Yes, definitely. Adore Liquid.
Check out her juice. She's got some great one shots. Good juice.
Hashtag Purple Army.
Yep.
You get them concentrates. Get that pecan sequence in concentrate.
So good.
Get not Purple from concentrate Army. In concentrate.
Yep.
And also, my friends are a Bad Motor Fogger. Check them out. They make some really quality e-liquid over there. badmotorfogger.com. Or if you're in Greensboro, which I doubt any of you will be, they have a lab right there, a place called the Refinery.
Cool.
You can catch them on Instagram and at Bad Motor Fogger. They do some really good stuff over there. And they also they've been doing advocacy way before it was cool.
Yeah.
They've been donating to Not Blowing Smoke, to CASA and North Carolina Vapors Council and all them since day one. You have Omega e-liquid, and another one does wonderful things for advocacy as well.
Yep.
Get that Addie's yogurt.
He's got a sale. I think he had a sale. Did he have a sale? I think he had a 33.1% off.
33.3 or 33. Yeah,
percent off Omega juice. I forgot about that. Yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah. All
right, guys. Have a great day. Enjoy your week. We'll see you next week. Yeah, shout out North Carolina Vapors Council. Exactly. Sherwin's awesome people. And they had a thing in Raleigh yesterday, which I don't know why he did same day as Richmond, but it's all right. Yeah, still going to the end of the month, so you got another week. You got till Saturday or Friday over there in Omega e-liquid. I got to make sure I put that in the description as well. All right, guys, I'm rambling. Let's get the heck out of here. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.